G'day everyone, welcome to Richos Group. I'm Jared, I'm the director and one of the electricians here at Richos Electrical. We're here on site today to replace this twin sensor floodlight with the new Voltex twin sensor spotlight. All the benefits and features of this floodlight we'll be discussing during the video. So we're going to go and isolate some power so we can remove this floodlight safely. We're going to install the new floodlight here and see how it looks and see what benefits they give, because it's been designed by electricians for electricians. And we also point out this was gifted to us by Voltex, so thank you Voltex for giving this to us, and we're going to install it. We're going to see how easy it is to install and all the benefits and features that it offers. Tune in, guys. So as we always do when it comes to a electrical services being worked on, so we're going to go and isolate the switchboard. So we're going to come over here to our switchboard. We're going to come to our 10 amp breaker. So viewers of the channel will recognise this switchboard. So we'll isolate. So take off this switchboard cover. We need to grab our lockout device, our flat-bed screwdriver. Loosen up our lockout device. Slide it over our breaker. We'll lock out the breaker. We'll get our key. We'll install that lockout on there, and we are safe to work on electrical services. So let's get into it. So we're going to grab our ladder. Grab our impact drill. And we're good to take you down. So the first things you'll see with the box is it gives you the design on the front. Tells you what colour it is, what it is, whether it has two lights or one, because you can get this in a one light style as well. We've got the part number, which is OMS L2B. So typical Voltex fashion, it comes in a nice box and a nice design. So we're going to open it up and we'll see how it's designed on the inside. So first we open it up, we'll get your installation manual, which we know most electricians don't read anyway, but for the purpose of the video, of course, we will read it. So it gives you all the information, it gives you the dimensions, conduit entry box is optional as well. So all that sort of stuff you can have a squiz through, have a read, gives you a nice design on the front of the instruction manual as well to show you what it is. Voltex also come with a 7-year warranty. Not a lot of manufacturers will give a warranty that high on their products, and they will back up and they will pay you to go back and replace your products if need be. So we have our screws, any fixings that we might need. We have our entry gland, we have our fixings, and we have our weatherproof plugs to go over our screws. We'll put them to the side so we don't lose them. So our conduit box, optional as well. There's your backing. We can also mount it just as standard as well. So if you're going to install this on a wall and you need conduit, again, it comes with 25mm entry holes on all sides, 2 on 2 sides, single on the other sides. Also comes with a little level in the middle. Let's have a look at the light. So first impressions, it's a very bulky fitting, but the purpose being is that we can actually fit a lot of cables inside this, right? So it gives you 2 entry glands as well, 4 fixings, a definite big base you can actually screw something to. A lot of times with these sensor floodlights, there's not a lot of space behind them. So good that you've got that option, and you've got multiple tilt options with the lights, right? So you've got all the way around, you've got tilting that way, and being flat, it gives you more range when it comes to where that light can face and what it can do. So I'm very impressed with how the different angles that light can actually go into. So that's actually pretty cool to see, because the fact that you can also have it down a footpath, if you're putting it on a wall, that's perfect with it facing on a wall. And you can also just point them down the side rather than having them like you usually do where they're pointing sort of inwards and still over the neighbour's yard. So that's pretty good. That'd be actually very beneficial for people who are installing down the side of patches of people's houses. So it tilts up as well, so the sensor can face out. So that's a pretty good feature. We've got our different sensitivity options. So you've got your lux, So whether you want to be on during the day or during the night time, we have our sensitivity with how sensitive you want this sensor to react, and we have how long the duration we want to see how long this comes on for. So we can check the instructions and see what times they have them set to. But I think the next test will be to take the old fitting down and have a look at how it goes up. So we've got plenty of options for, oh, I like this actually. So we have sensor override, you have sensor output, earth neutral and active, and a loop terminal. And I do like this. I like the amount of effort that you can actually override this sensor within the sensor, right? So a lot of times with sensor lights, some of the other brands, you can override them by flicking the switch on and off numerous times. But the fact that this has actually got a sensor override terminal means you can actually put a 3-position switch in the house and override the sensor, which is pretty handy. I like that. I don't have that at this particular property, so I'm just going to be using the active, neutral and earth terminal, and it's just going to work on sensor mode only, which is good to see. Alright, so we're going to start taking the old fitting down. Once we take the old fitting down, we can then mount this one and see how it all looks once it's up on the wall. Let's get into it. Alright, so we know we've isolated, so now we should improve isolation, so let's start taking the fitting down. So we have what's believed to be permanent feed, a switch wire, a neutral and an earth, but you can never trust what other people have done, because according to the sensor cabling, we've got a white uses a neutral, a brown uses an active, a black is an active, and we've got our permanent feed and an earth. So we're going to confirm all that. Neutral to earth should always be in the zeros, but because we haven't got power on, we won't be able to confirm that right this second, but we can always turn power back on to check. Okay, so put that up there, confirming what we believe is active neutral. Active earth is dead, neutral to earth is dead, and now active neutral is dead according to how this is wired now. So now permanent feed to neutral is dead, permanent feed to earth is dead, permanent feed to another active is dead. Okay, we confirmed that this circuit is all dead. So before we finish wiring it up, we can obviously confirm that it is completely dead and the cabling's around the right way and just been coloured wrong. And if that's the case, we can sleeve it with heat shrink to resolve this problem. Cables all out one by one. That's gone. We can leave that connected because we're not going to change that. We will actually put it into the loop terminal that the sensor comes with, which is very handy. Now this is painted on, so I hope it's not going to rip paint as it goes. It doesn't, which is good. Now to be able to get this base off, I have to undo this connector, but we're okay because we've proven dead. And that's out. Then we'll grab, we don't need this base, we're not going to use that one. We take that one off. We'll grab our impact drill. And because this is square, usually when it's round, you don't really have to worry too much about how it's getting mounted. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to make sure this is going to be square. So the way we can do that is we'll offer it up to the wall, to the ceiling I should say. So I want to break this out further. Being an eave, water penetration is not going to be a major issue. So for me, I want to take this divider between the two out so I can slide cables down the middle there. Okay, so put this aside for now. That cable in, that cable in, that cable in, these two cables in, push them up and in. We want to try and keep double insulation inside of the fitting. So we want to slide this up past the double insulation. Alright, so that's now passed. Now we can slide this on. Alright, that's there. Now we can wire in. So we want this cable to be a bit shorter because it's a bit too long. So I want to shorten this cable just a snippet so it'll fit inside the terminal nicely. That one's fine, that one's fine, that one's fine. And we'll put the actives So this is a permanent feed, for anyone who doesn't understand. The method that they've used here is called loop with the light. So that is a permanent feed which gives power to the switch, and then the other cable, the twin, the white, theoretically, if it's been wired correctly, sends the signal of the power back up to the light fitting and powers it up. So being a twin, I'm going to check the switch that's inside this garage door. If this twin is down there, great. If it's not, then it's this black. I think they've just had a bit of a home job, and the owners who were here before have changed this cabling around, and it still works because it's an AC connection. So I'm going to wire it as what I believe it should be, which is the white of the twin, because the twin cable has a red that goes down from this twin and earth, and a white that comes back up, which is this one here. Active, neutral, and earth. So notice it has up written here. So this is more for a wall mounting face. So if you do a wall mounting face, obviously it's going to face that way. So if you're going to go up on the ceiling, you follow the path, right? So we're facing that way on a wall, and we're going to go up to the ceiling like this, right? So that's up, right? So we can put at least one screw in until we get the tape measure to measure it up. So we get one screw in to get a start point. Just don't drop the screw. We're going to grab screws that come with the Voltex kit. We're also going to grab these weatherproof bungs, as I like to call them. That way we can seal the holes that we're making. So we have one screw in, so we want to check from both sides, right? So we want to go from there, we're hitting 100. From there, we're hitting 100. So we're pretty lucky in a sense that I've got a hit on the mark. But if you didn't have that mark, that's how you would be able to mark that spot for you. Actually, very nice screws from Voltex, because most manufacturers' screws are pretty poor. Most electricians will not use them. Actually going very nicely in hole, especially when it comes to fibro. It's one of the hardest things to screw through. Alright, so we're now fixed up. We can now get our rubber bungs. All our bungs are up. Our cables are in place very nicely, all sealed. It's good to see. Alright, terminals look good. So what I want to do now, because I want to confirm these cables are good, right? So I want to confirm everything's going to go well. So I want to test this terminal as it's live, right? So I've got a switch down just inside this roller door, which I can turn on. But this one, obviously, I'm just going to have a permanent feed here. I'm going to have a permanent switch wire there, and it'll be on, and then the sensor will kick in if the sensor was plugged in. So we'll go to the board, we'll take off our lockout device. We have our key. Our lockout device is locked on. Let's unlock it. Let's undo our device. Turn our circuit back on. We'll grab our multimeter. So we want to test to see if our meter is good. So we know we've got a permanent feed, so we should have power active to earth here. And we have 240 volt, which is good. So do we have to neutral? We have 240 volt to the black cable, which probably goes to show you that it was wired wrong. Right? Active to active, we've got nothing. So that's good to see. Okay, so it looks like we've wired around the right way. Switch wire to neutral, we have 240 volt. Switch wire to earth, we have 240 volt. So it goes to show you that's why you should test everything. Because the previous electrician or DIY, I'm going to lean more towards. Right? We don't know, we weren't here. We don't know what the situation was, but they had it wired wrong. We've now got it mounted, our wiring's all good, it is live, but we're not going to be working anywhere near the live connections because of the way Voltex have designed their light fitting. It's all pin connectors, so we just push those pins up and this fitting will come up and start working. So we have 100%, 50% options. We also have 3000K, a 4000K and a 5000K. Now, being a floodlight, I tend to want to go more for the 4000 because then it's not too bright, it's not too dull, and it lights up everything very nicely. So I'm going to set it to 4000K. We can always change it later because all it takes is just undoing 2 screws and the whole fitting comes down. So we want to grab our grub screws. But I like that they've given you the extra ones, so because 9 times out of 10, you drop these and they go everywhere and you never see them again. So we're going to grab we'll grab a P1. I think a P1 will do it nicely. P1 fits in there beautifully. That's what we want, okay? Now we know, as we said, the fitting would face down if it was that way. So we're tilting up. Sizing it up to the fitting. Bang, we're on. Right. Put our little grub screw in. Oh, and that's why we said we get extras. The sensors are already turned off, which is good. Not looking good, is it? That's alright, we'll take this down because I feel like that'll just fall out if I don't grab these screws. Let's try this again. Okay, we're up. Start it off. There we go. Alright. As I said, no product is perfect. And this definitely isn't, but it's definitely come a long way for a sensor floodlight, and I do like it since design and how simplistic it is. So now we can adjust the sensor where we want it. So I want that to face almost straight to the ground. There's a pretty good angle on the sensor, and I want to be able to see this front yard. So I want it to pretty much go straight out, facing all different avenues. So I want to face this front yard, I want to face the bins. If anyone comes up and sees, and there we go. That's a nice fitting. So we can adjust the settings on it. So I normally like to go, our time wise, I want it to be about a third of the way around. Our sensitivity to be about halfway, because I want it to pick up people who walk towards the house. And our lux, we want it to set about a third of the way around so it catches us at dusk. So that's what I want. Right? That won't pick up anymore. It's now off. And we're good to go. And I dare say that was a pretty easy fitting to install, and I do like the ability that that can just tilt wherever I want very easily. I don't have to adjust any screws or knobs. I can always just move that around. It's still fixed enough that wind won't take it and weather won't affect it at all. I like it. Yeah, so first impressions, it's a pretty good fitting. I would install it again. I would definitely like to install more of these. Like the seals are pretty good. And there we go, voila. How good's that? I like it. I think it's a pretty good fitting. It's very easy to install. Terminals are decent size as well, so there's no issues with that. Screws are always a major thing that's very hard when it comes to these sort of fittings. There's no way around it. You either give extra or you just don't drop them. But other than that, I think that's a pretty good fitting. I'm pretty happy with it. Right, so what can we say? It's a decent light fitting. It actually is designed really well. It's easy to install. You have many different options for different configuration of your wiring. So I do rate it. So I give Voltex all the credit in the world when it comes to their products because they back them. They back them with a decent warranty. If any of their products fail, they will pay for you to go out and repair it at a decent rate as well. So what are you going to lose, really? Give them a go. Give Voltex a go. Use their products. See if you like them. If you don't, that's fine. They're not out to grab everyone. They're out to grab people who like their products. So give them a shout. I use them for all our products. We use their breakers, we use their power point switches, their light fittings, anything we can get our hands on that is done by them because they've got a decent warranty. So it's good for our customers, it's good for our products when we install them. So that's why we use them. So if you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and comment. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on all of our social media at Richos Group. And by all means, check out Voltex. Voltex are on YouTube, they're on Instagram, they have their own app as well, so you can get all their products online. It all gets delivered to you, usually by the next day, depending on when you order. So by all means, give them a shout, give them a go. They offer plenty of services and plenty of different benefits with them as well. Thanks for tuning in, guys, really appreciate it. Have a good one.